Assalamu alaikum. This video is for you in grade 10V to go through some of the questions that might happen in the exam. That's the final exam. So I'm just going to go through a few of the exam questions. So the exam has 40 marks and it's got 20 questions. So each question has 2 marks. So take that into consideration when you do the exam. So we're going to start with one question. It's using HTML, which we've used in class before. So there's no excuse to say I don't know what this question is about. If you need any extra help, you can ask me any time before the exam. So don't worry about the difficulty of the question. So we'll open Microsoft Word just to go through some of the questions. Okay, so what is an ordered list? So order list in HTML. Is it OL, IL, UL for example, or none of these? So the question is, what is an ordered list? If you look at these two words, O and L, actually gives you the answer OL. Yeah. So in the exam, if I ask you for what is unordered, you will choose U and L. So it will be this answer. So it could be any of these, unordered or ordered. So make sure you read the question. That's for any question. When you read a question, make sure you understand it first and then answer it. Okay, so what do you need to create or to make a HTML document? So in class we used two things. One was an online HTML editor and one we used Notepad. So if you're gonna use, if the exam says a basic HTML document, then you can just say Notepad. The option, it will give you 4 options. Yeah, so you can use, if it says basic HTML, it could be Notepad answer. Yeah. Okay, so what was the marquee tag used in class? So what I want you to do now is remember what the marquee tag is. You can go to Google Classroom and check what we use the marquee tag for. So that could be some work for you to do rather than me giving you the answer for that. So it's marquee tag that you need to do. Okay, so we're going to move on to Microsoft Access question. So when we did the Microsoft Access, we'll just open a recent lesson 1. Okay, so these, can you see down here, each one of these is called a data type. So they're called data types. So what I want you to do is remember these data types that we've used. So auto number, short text number, obviously for the telephone number, yes and no, and date and time. So in the exam I could give you a list of any of these and one more. And we also have, just in case I do give you this in the exam, currency. Currency means for money. So how much, for example, if it says here wage, we'll say currency, because your wage is paid in money, so it's currency. Yeah, it's just a word for money. So in the exam I will give you a list of data types and then you will have to remember these data types. So if I give you something different. For example, if I say, let's just say hi, obviously it doesn't understand this, but it has to be any of these. Yeah. So if even in the exam I'm not giving you OLE object or long text or attachment, calculated, look, any of these. So if I give you that in the exam, you need to say, oh no, we've not used that one. Okay, right, so now this is going to cause me a problem, so we're going to close it. Okay, so you have to remember the data types that we've used. Okay, I'm just going to open the database again. Right, once this opens. Right, so what is the name of this table in Access, in Microsoft Access? So if I said to you, what is the name of this table? Let's just print screen this. How would you tell from the picture what the name of this table is? It's quite simple. Let me just crop this and then. So, what is the name of this table? If you notice, it says tables, customer, mobile, queries, Q1. It'll tell you on the top here, it says customer. So that's the name of the table. Okay? Simple answer. Simple 2 marks. So if I give you a picture, that's where you need to realize that's the name. Okay. What is a primary key? Okay, remember when we did the customer table? And I said to you, what is unique, what is special about every person in Bahrain? So someone said to me, every person has a unique CPR. Everyone has a different CPR. Okay? And that, can you see there's a key here on the top? Yeah. That means, what is a primary key? So if I give you a list of 4 keys and it says to you ID, it doesn't have to be a CPR or anything like that. First name, mobile, and salary. What could be unique about each one of these? So primary key, we said it has to be unique and it has to be different for every person. What is special about first let's talk about salary. All in the company, people can have the same salary. Mobile, it doesn't say mobile number, it says mobile. So it could be a few people have an iPhone. First name, Abdullah, many Abdullahs. Yeah, many Husseins in Bahrain. Okay, ID, for example, could be in NVTC. Everyone here in NVTC has a different ID. So the answer would be primary key, something that is unique is ID. Okay, so do that. Okay, so back in the database, what is CPR's data type? It says auto number here. So auto number, remember when we did this table, data sheet view, if I want to create another record, let's just delete this record. Now I want to create another one. Well, let's just say, can you see what it's just done now? It's put 9 there because deleted the 8. So it automatically puts the number in for me, so I don't need to put in number in. So if I do the next one, another one, and say Ahmad, you see put 10 in, automatically puts the next number in. So if you delete this record, Yes, so it will not put Ahmad again. See, puts 11. So this is called auto number. Yeah. So the CPR field also, or any primary key, uses something called auto number. Auto number. So if you look at the word auto number, automatic, this means automatic. Number means number, obviously. So automatically generates a number, automatically makes a number for you. Okay. Okay, right. So I'm back in Access here. Now I have two tables here. What if I want to make another table? So what would I do? So in Access, you create and then table. You see, just made table 1. Then we can just right click on it and save it. So how to make a table? Create and table. Easy. Okay, back in Access here, I'm just going to delete this table. I don't really need it. Okay, so in here we have two views here. Okay, if you click on customer, there's two views here. So datasheet view is the one that we're on now. So it shows you the data. So Al-Aradi, Fadal, Ilyas, all of this information is called data. Now we go on to design view. So when we make it, it's called design. When we put information, it's called datasheet view. So you have two views, design view and datasheet view. Yeah. Okay, so right, so we have two tables. Okay, so this is, if I just show you here, this is a relationship diagram. So our two tables are here. So we're going to link these two, CPR to CPR. You have to make sure these two are the same. Yeah. If you notice here, this is in the customer table, this is in the mobile. So these two have to be the same. You click on this tick, press create. It will say, oh, you can't do it because this table is open. So let's just close this table. CPR to CPR. Okay, there's a problem here. So, right, I've done this on purpose because I want to show you how do you get to the relationship. So what you need to do is, if you're on the screen here, can you see on the tab on top here? Yeah, so you need to click on database tools and then click on relationship. So in the exam, if I say to you, how do you get to the relationships for customer and mobile or any relationships tab, you need to say database tools, and that's what the answer will be. I will give you 4 options again. Yeah, and you will need to say database tools. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, when you do this, I might give you a picture in the exam and you need to know which tables they are. So the tables are on the top. Can you see the ones that are grayed out down here? Customer and mobile. So if I give you a picture and say to you, what are these correct? First of all, you need to look at the tables and you need to match these two. So for example, this is wrong. It has to be CPR and CPR. So if it's CPR and make, this is incorrect. It's ghalat. Okay, so it has to be CPR and CPR. If they match, that means it's correct. If they don't match, it's incorrect. So remember that. I will give you a picture. Okay, so let's just close this. We don't need this because it's wrong. Okay, I think it was, yeah. Okay, so date of birth. Can you see it says date of birth here? And we've got date and time. Okay, now if I give you, let's just say expiry date. you know, on a credit card, you will find the expiry date. The expiry date is when the card finishes. So if it says expiry date, which do you think we're going to use? Number, because it's got numbers on it, or date and time. So we're going to put a date in. Okay, so it will be date and time. If it says expiry date or date of birth, anything that says date on it, you use date and time. Okay, we're not going to save this because I want to use it later on. So remember, if it says date, it's okay. Back on here. Okay, this is some research that you need to do for what tag in HTML do you use for a bullet list. Okay, I want you to research this for the exam. So for example, if I give you this question and it says list NL UL OL. So the bulleted list is when we have, you see down here the circles. This one is a bulleted list. So if I highlight all these, you see these are bullet points, circle dots or circles or squares. Yeah. So these are called bullet points down here. So we use this in HTML. Which tag was it? Was it these? Which one of these tags was it? That's what we did this in Google Classroom, so you can check which one it is. So if that is a question, or I could give you another one. What tag is used for a numbered list? Again, the same options. Yep. OL or UL. Okay, so this one was numbers. So it said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Which one is for the numbered one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are bullet points. So I could ask you any of these questions in the exam. Okay, so what is the tag for a horizontal line? Okay, so I want you to research this as well. So what is the tag for horizontal line? We did this one when we made, remember, a line all the way across, but it had no dashes. So what did we use in HTML? What do we use this one for? Okay, I'm going to give you 4 options again. Okay, and again I want another question for in HTML. What is okay, so what are these in HTML? Yeah. Okay. Right, so that was that one. So now we're going to move on to Visual Studio. Yeah. So I'm just going to create a new project just quickly. So we've discussed HTML and access. Some easy questions. Right, so here I'm going to make a few objects using the toolbox. Yeah, and for example, we've used this before. We've used this one, use this. Okay. So okay, so if you saw this, you need to understand what each one of these objects are to get 2 marks. So we've used this many times, so you should really know which ones, and I've just done it in front of you. Obviously you will not see any of this, you will just see these in a picture. So you will need to remember, get each one of these right. Yeah, you need to at least get 3 right to get 1 mark. Yeah, so if you want 2 marks, full marks, you need to get all 5 or 6 objects on here correct. Okay, so that was easy enough. Okay, so how do I change, let's just say someone clicks on this button, how do I change the background color? So back color equals color dot red. Let's see if this one works. I'm going to take a few minutes because it's got a few things open. You see what I just done? Change the color, background color to red. Okay, so that is the correct code here. Yeah, so I'm going to give you 4 options again, so you need to remember this code, so obviously you don't get confused. So just be careful. It's back color equals color dot red, not back color dot color equals red. So you have to remember the code for the exam. Okay, in the flowchart diagram, when we did the design, so remember we did diagram. I'm just going to do a quick diagram. It's not going to be nice. So it started with like that, and then text box. Sorry, my drawing is not nice. So this is called a flowchart. Yeah. I might ask you, might have this diagram and say to what is this called? So you need to remember it's called a flowchart, or I might give you one of these. I might say to you, how does the flowchart start? Or what is a decision? What is a question? So this starts with what? An oval shape. Then you ask a question. The question is a rectangle, and the decision is this shape here. So you might have to draw it, I might ask you the question. So remember that. So how do you clear a list box? So I want you to research this as well. We've already done this in the midterm. How do you clear a list box? Yeah, named LST order. Again, this was in your midterm practice. So if you go on Google Classroom, you'll find the answer. I'm going to give you 4 options. You won't need to remember it, well, you need to remember it, but I will give you 4 options. Okay, so what is a programming language? That's another question. What is the package that we use to create the programs? Yeah, so language is Visual Basic. The program is called Visual Studio. I think we've been through a few questions now, and if you remember everything that I've just covered now, you should pass the exam and get really good marks. So thank you and good luck with the exam. Bye.